Hello, 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 and welcome back, all of my beautiful friends from all across the vast reaches of the internet. I hope each and every single one of you is doing absolutely spectacular on this beautiful Tuesday morning, or whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast episode, whether that be morning, evening, or night. Welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Now, remember, if you're listening to this podcast through the radio waves, through the invisible frequencies, please leave us a rating and also leave us a review. And you can do that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever else you get your podcasts. Please go ahead and do that for us. It helps out the show dramatically. So thank you all so much for doing that. And please go ahead and do that. Remember, you can answer this week's question by going to Spotify. And they have assured me they've rolled out their new comments feature. I know it might not be working for everybody just yet, but within the coming weeks and within the next little bit here, you should be able to see the comments feature rollout. So you can go and answer this week's question in the comments section, which you can just click on the description of the episode and then comment underneath, and I can reply to your comment, and then you will be notified when it's published, and I'll read that response out loud on the next week's following episode. With that said, I will not be reading any responses this week because this is a pre-recorded episode. I'm actually recording this episode on Thursday of last week what will be last week to all of you beautiful people, because I'm getting my wisdom teeth removed, all 4 of them. So I don't think by Monday I'll be able to record a podcast. So this is a pre-recorded episode in case any of you are wondering. This is an ad-supported show, so we will take an ad break about 10 to 15 minutes into the show, and then another one about 20 to 30 minutes in. Please go and check out my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channel at Reddit Asks Us Podcast, where I post new short-form content every single day. It's really easily bingeable content, fun stuff to make, and fun stuff to watch, so please go ahead and do that. Also, join the subreddit, r/Reddit Asks Us on Reddit. And please join the subreddit when there's a new mega thread posted every single week. And you can make posts and you can do whatever you want podcast related on that subreddit. We haven't been infiltrated by any sort of weird group yet in the subreddit, so I'm hoping that it stays that way. I've heard some pretty bad horror stories of some people's subreddits getting infiltrated, so that is utterly terrifying. Why don't then now we just hop into today's episode? We have had a similar theme over the past few episodes here, but you know what? I think we're gonna keep along this train here, this train of thought per se. What's the best? As you can tell with the episode title, what's the best way you've seen someone screw themselves over? Now, this reminds me a lot of like the instant karma subreddit. Because I feel like there's just nothing better when you see someone act like a total asshole or a total jackass, and then you see that come to bite them. I mean, to be honest, I feel like I've also been that person, it turns out when I used to have, it wasn't a big thing, but I used to have, embellishments in telling the truth sometimes, like, I did definitely screw myself over one time when I scratched the top of my dad's truck by like driving into a parkade, and it scratched the top of the truck. I never told him. And then he was cleaning his truck one time and he was standing in the truck bed. He looks down and the roof of the truck is just totally scratched. And he's like, who did you think that this was who I was gonna assume this was gonna be? All right. Like, what do you think? That someone just came by here at night and just decided to scrape up my truck? Like, I'm the only other person who drives this. Like, I don't understand what exactly you thought. Do you think the garbage truck just kind of made a little bit of a mistake when it was bringing the thing down? Oh, oops! It looks like I hit your truck by accident instead of hitting your garbage can and emptying your garbage. I highly doubt that. Oh, I thought your truck was garbage. My bad. Oh, I'm sorry. No. So, We've all been there. But the first one comes from Off Nuts. or of nuts, of nuts. A long while ago in a large computer corporation with looming layoffs, an employee set up a time bomb so that a lot of files would be destroyed if he didn't reset the trigger periodically, thus creating a delayed revenge if he got fired, which eventually happened without any severance package because the time bomb went off when he was still an employee. I feel like there are other ways. Like, is really your company is that, like, if your company's that bad already, I don't understand why you wouldn't have just quit, like, before, why did you go through all this effort to make, like, a ticking time bomb instead of just going and getting a new job? Like, I feel like, like, it already sucks. Like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna make sure this is a ticking time bomb in case they ever screw me over like they've done the past 6 months of my life. If they're screwing you over and there's already looming layoffs, why don't you just spend all that effort into going and finding another job? Like, this has got to be just, what a backfire. He's just thinking like, yeah, I gotta set myself up, prepare myself for the worst here, because I gotta screw this company over in case they do anything. And then you end up being the cause of your own firing. Like, how could you forget about that? That's like just a massive thing. Like, what do you have to like log in every day? That's like a huge commitment. What if you got sick? You're just like, well, there's no remote logins for my job, so I might have destroyed this entire company and all their data. But joke's on you, am I right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, didn't you learn a lesson? No, they just learned that they're going to just start checking people's computers for this kind of stuff. I think you honestly taught them a lesson more than anything. It seemed like you were trying to do a good thing there, but I don't really know if it got pulled off in the way you expected it. Next one comes from Raider Red. When I was young, I realized if I threw up at school, they'd call my mom to come get me. One day in the 2nd grade, I got sick because I wanted to leave. But my dumbass forgot it was a field trip day to the zoo. I tried to say I was feeling better, but my mom was already on her way. Yeah, you can't pull that. Like, parents know. It's like, this is suddenly your mom gets to the school and you're like, actually, it was just a frog in my throat. I'm feeling a lot better now, Mom. I was before, it's like, but the school nurse literally just called and said that you puked in the bathroom, that you're getting sweats, that like, you might be experiencing some, like, poisoning or something like that. Like, this was some serious, you were telling the nurse about some serious symptoms you were having: blurred vision, dizziness, nausea. Like, this is not good. We need to go to a hospital right now. You know what, Mom? I think I'm gonna just walk this one off. It's just one of those things. I think it was just for a moment, just got a wave of something, just one of those little bugs that last for like half a day, half a day. I mean, this just happened. It's not even been half the day yet. You've been at school for a couple hours. Like, what if this lasts? What if this is something larger? You know what, Mom? I honestly think if I'm being serious with you, Mom, I'm just leveling with you, okay? We're just, down to brass tacks. I personally think, you know how much I love watching House MD, how much I love watching that show. It's like, well, you're kind of young to watch that, but you know how much I love Grey's Anatomy, Mom. It's our show. I'm getting this intuition, I'm getting just this feeling that the only way to cure whatever I've got going on here, I got to see some goddamn penguins. All right, I just need to be exposed, I think, to some penguins. And I think this is just I think it's just going to lift my spirits, maybe a giraffe of sorts, maybe a bear, maybe some exotic birds, parrots maybe. Maybe we can, if I held a snake, I think that's what it is. I think if I held a snake, I think it's just a revitalizing, rejuvenating practice. It's it immerses you in the real world. It reminds you, like, hey, like, I'm just an animal, right? Animals get sick all the time, and they come back from it. Animals are resilient. Maybe I just need to see a big rhino, big rhinoceros, big horn on its head. That just reminds me that I can persevere through things. So I think I'm just going to go to the field trip, Mom. I think it's going to be, I wouldn't even worry about it. It's chill. It's not even, the logic of kids when they do stuff like this, it's like, oh man, it's everybody knows, it's obvious. It's like, there's no way you're just like, thinking you can like stick your head in a microwave and it's like, wow, I'm running kind of hot. Is anybody else hot in here? It's like, no, that's not how that works. Next one, reply from Weedful Things. In kindergarten, my bus would pick me up around 11 because school was from like 12 to 3. I didn't want to go one day, so I told my mom I had a stomach ache. Bruh, a stomach ache? If I told my parents that I have a stomach ache as a kid, first of all, they don't believe me. Not a chance. Parents can tell when you're in actual pain. And second of all, they would just be like, a stomach ache? You're going to school. Who doesn't go to school for a stomach ache? Okay, I get a stomach ache like every day for like 15 minutes, okay? And it's like I'm writhing in pain. I'm on the floor, rolling around. I'm screaming my freaking, my lungs out, but that's normal, man. It happens to everybody, so I'm even tripping or something, feels like that alien's gonna like burst out of you or something, yeah, it's classic. No, I'm just kidding. But a stomach ache, my parents would be like, suck it up. Like, what? A stomach ache? You're not gonna miss an entire day of school for a stomach ache. I watched the bus in front of my house as soon as it drove away, I started jumping up and down on the couch yelling, Yahoo! My mom got so mad she drove me to school. Plus, she laid a guilt trip on me that I made her waste gas and she couldn't afford. Good. I don't understand. If this was Am I the Asshole, you're being the asshole in this situation. Yeah, my mom's friggin' tried to skip fucking school one day and my mom's just like, and then I was like happy about it and then yeah, and then I'm like jumping around, obviously celebrating because I don't have to go to school. And then she's just like, okay, well, you're obviously not sick, and drives me. Fucking bitch. Like, what? Like, how? Like, why are you guilt tripping me, Mom? Why are you guilt tripping me into this? It's like driving me to school and gas you can't afford. Like, get a better job then, Mom. Like, what the heck? Like, so what, Dad left? It's not even that big of a deal. I'm sure you can afford it on your own. You're an adult. That's how kids talk and think. They're just like, yeah, you're the adult. So obviously, once you turn 18, the government gives you all the money, okay? And then we can afford everything we want. So it doesn't even matter that that we're living in a single parent household right now. That has no effect or bearing on whether or not it's important to save money on gas. Yeah, your mom was right. Like, as if you're the one being like, yeah, she could guilt trip me for that. It's like, yeah, because you made up a stupid excuse, got caught for it, and then you have to make your mom go out of her way to take you back to school. Like, you're definitely the jerk in that situation. Next one comes from Bob Roberts01. I worked for one of the government agencies everyone loves. We had, the central bank. We had a donation bin in one of our visitor centers that was empty one morning. The money in the employee honor system snack room thing was gone too. It was a huge scandal. A day or two later, the cash, but not the coins, from a satellite office's employee snack money also disappeared. Oh, geez. This is quite a covert operation here. This was enough to get our in-house law enforcement to question everyone with access to either building. Well, only one person had a key to the donation box and a key to the satellite building. One was where he worked, and the other was in a compound where he was renting government housing. Also, there were cameras around, and he was the only one of a certain size currently employed. The guy was a strange mix of really excited to make his job his career and complaining that it did not pay enough. He ended up throwing away his dream career and receiving federal theft charges for around $100 in small bills. Jeez. Okay. Something's going on outside. Holy crap. Okay. It's like 9 a.m. This seems to me like, yeah, you're going to make up the rest of your salary in what is this? The employee honor system snack room. Like, what is, like, and also you're just like, you're going to steal like a $10 bill and you're the type of thief to just leave all the change. You're like, yeah, I'm too good for that. It's like, what do you think I'm going to take that bullshit? It's just a bunch of coins. What am I going to use that for? Candy? I don't want that shit. Come on, I'm too good for that. It's like, you know what? Or you have the mentality where it's like, yeah, no one's going to notice. No one's going to even notice if I take the $100 bill and leave a couple of quarters and dimes. I don't think anyone's going to notice. It's going to be like, "Oh, where did the money go?" It's like, it's right there. I don't know what you must be missing something because it's literally right there. It's, there was always 3 quarters and a dime in here. Okay? I don't see what the trouble is. Why don't we just drop it, okay? Why don't we just fucking drop it and just accept the fact that everybody at this company is just greedy. All right? And they don't want to give away their money. So, let's just drop it. That's yeah, like you're gonna make up for the rest of your salary in stealing small amounts of cash. Like, what is this? It's like where there was, okay, wait, employees snack money. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're gonna make up that extra 20% that you wanted as your salary in your employees snack money. It's like, I really don't think that, an extra couple dollars at the cafeteria is gonna... how can you even be satisfied with that? You're just like, yeah, this is it. I think I found my way to get back at this company. I think I found my way to finally thrive at this company. Okay? This is the real fucking deal right now. All right? I'm robbing them freaking blind. It's like, no, you're robbing everybody else. You're not even robbing the company. The company has no money tied up in that. You're just robbing everybody else. You're just robbing people, your coworkers. It's like, yeah, showed them. It's like, showed who? Who do you? We generally like each other. We've invited each other out to the bar after work, and we've done a lot of employee get-togethers, and everyone's gotten along really well. I don't understand why you'd want to steal money from us. Like, there's other ways. You probably could have stolen money from the government, but you just were like, no. Nathan's snack money, that's where it's at. That's going to fill the gaps. That's really going to push me finally into being able to afford that Range Rover that I've been trying to purchase. That's crazy though. Getting fired for petty theft like that? Come on, dude. You got something good going on. It's like, yeah, you know what? I've got a government job, pretty secure. Why don't I just screw myself out of it? Why don't I just do something that's completely unnecessary, that's has really impactful actions, impactful consequences, and get fired and then just ruin my entire prospect for jobs? I'm going to be like, how did you get fired at this past job? Well, everybody there was just cheap. A bunch of greedy losers, and they didn't want to pay me enough money, so I had to go out on my own. I'm resourceful. Yeah, way to flip it. It's like, yeah. So we just got off the phone, or we just got off this interview, and we just wanted to do a reference check. But he said he was just resourceful. Is that ringing any bells? Resourceful, yeah. He just stole everybody's money to try to get back at the government. I don't know. Next one comes from Assumption Shot 434. My friend's sister was engaged to a great guy. His only flaw that he was too tough to wear seatbelts. Crashed his car and died. A few weeks later, she found out she was pregnant, so now she's a single mother. So that's at least 3 lives he's fucked up by not wearing his seatbelt. What? Where's the logic here? I don't understand. Like, the not wearing your seatbelt? Come on, dude. Well, how is that even a flex? I don't even think that's not like a thing. Like, that's not even a thing to not wear a seatbelt because it's like you're too tough or something. It's like, yeah, you think You honestly think I was gonna get into this car and wear my fucking seatbelt? What am I? What do you think I am? A fucking pussy? Wearing a seatbelt? Yeah. What's next? Am I gonna look both ways before crossing the street? I think it's insulting. I'm insulted to my core that you think somebody of my stature. I'm a high value man. Okay, I'm an alpha male. I'm an alpha male. I'm a Chad. I'm a Giga Chad. I'm the Giga Chad. I'm the man in those photos of the Giga Chad. Okay? And you think I'm just gonna wear my seatbelt? You think I'm just gonna protect my life? Are you joking? No. I prefer to live my life on the edge. Okay, well, maybe on the edge means dying in a car crash. That's like the stupidest thing. Who's the one saying like as if he gets into the car with somebody and he's like, really? You're wearing your seatbelt? Guess I can tell he's not a real man. Don't worry, I'm not gonna tell your wife. Oh geez, yeah. Oh, don't worry, it's not gonna spread through the company and everyone's gonna make fun of you. It's like, why would anyone make fun of me? Why would my wife cares about me. She wants me to be safe. I don't like this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, sure. Whatever you got to tell yourself, man. whatever you got to tell yourself, bro. Yeah, it's I don't worry. My lips are sealed, but you better not do that fucking shit around me again, okay? You better not do that shit around me ever again, dude. I swear to God, I cannot be seen driving with somebody who wears their fucking seatbelt, dude. I'm going to crash this car, okay? I'm going to crash this car to prove that you don't need to wear your seatbelt. It's like, that's how he died. He was just trying to defend the allegations. He was just like, no, dude, not wearing your seatbelt's actually better for you. It's actually like, because it's one of those things where, you know, it's like not taking Tylenol when you have a headache. You just have to like work through the pain, right? When you get shot through the windshield, you kind of just have to be like, this is a part of life, okay? Our ancient hominid ancestors were getting flown around all the time, okay? They were getting flown left and right, all right? Running into trees at 60 kilometers an hour. This is what they were doing back in those days. And I think we've strayed away from this. We've strayed away from old-fashioned values, okay? We've strayed away from traditional values, right? And I think we need to get back to that. That's like the biggest red flag in a person when they say that we've like strayed away from traditional values. It's like, okay, I know you're probably not the most fun hang. You're probably not the greatest person to that's the type of person where you just get nervous when you're in a group of friends and they start talking, like something political gets brought up and you're just like, hey, what are we gonna do for the rest of the night? I'm thinking cards, okay? I'm thinking maybe even anything to get us off this conversation topic. No one asked for your political views. No one said that. They're just that person that just, it's like that they start a conversation or they start their point of view with just a noun, like they just start women, like, oh God. No conversation has ever, or statement has ever, nothing good has ever been said, ever, when it starts off with just naming, like, just women. Like, okay, what am I strapping myself in for? It's like the worst, especially when you, like, work with people like this. It's like you start sweating, like, holy shit, can we just move on? I don't really think we should be talking about this kind of stuff at work. I think we should maybe keep our political views. I understand. I understand that you believe that the women's place is in the kitchen. I fully understand that that's your point of view. I just don't want to talk about this anymore and don't think that this is a conversation I don't really think we're going to get through any issues here right now. That's the thing, is some of these people, they're like, they have every single conversation like it's this, like that they're making a difference in the world by having this conversation. It's like, this is your terrible point of view is not going to like and expressing that to me in this conversation right now is not gonna. This is not the forefront of the political landscape. Okay, I don't like you're not changing the world right now by talking about this to me at the urinal. Okay, this is this is not. If you want to have those particular views, then you can express them to someone else. Okay, I'm not very interested in hearing about this kind of stuff. Next, a reply from Captain Awesome06. Such a weird flex. My high school driving instructor told me about a student he had to fail because he wouldn't use his turn signals because turn signals are for, I won't say that, but it is the F word. The instructor brought it up to the kid's dad, and the dad agreed with his kid. 25 years later, still think about that story. Blows my mind. What kind of son? What kind of father do you think I am going to raise my son that way? Using his turn signal? Did you not see we drive a BMW? Did you literally not see he pulled up to the driving test with a BMW? You expect him to use his turn signals? Come on. Where are you from? Mars? Pluto? I don't know. Can you not put two and two together? This is why you're a driving instructor, okay? Because you don't understand what it takes to not use your turn signal in a BMW. All right, it's not even. We took our turn signals out. We ripped them out as a family. That's like what we do. As soon as we get a new BMW, we get inside and we just rip the turn signal indicator off. We just rip it out. Because what purpose does that have in our family? No. Telling people where you're going? What is this? What am I? What are you, a spy? What are you, the police? What are you, the feds? Seriously, are you actually the feds? I'll fucking find out if you're the feds, okay? All right, I have receipts. I have receipts for everything. He's just money laundering. They own just a massive drug empire selling prescription drugs. I have receipts, okay? I have all the receipts. So question me, all right? Do it. Go ahead. 5 Beamers in 1 year is nothing crazy. All right, I just literally bought like 6 last year, so I'm under my quota compared to last year. So yeah, and they all don't have turn signals. Like, what a stupid flex. People will die on any hill. It's like, that's the hill you want to die on? Is these terrible political views and not using your turn signal? It's like, yeah, you're going to be on your deathbed and you're going to be just like, I'm so glad I didn't use my turn signal. There's one thing I'm so happy for in my life is that I didn't wear my seatbelt. And I'm so happy. I'm so glad I stuck to my guns. It's like, okay, well, you died a quadriplegic, so I'm glad that worked out for you. Next one comes from Gustavius040210. Excuse me. Cops were called to a buddy's house. Cops told this buddy that they did not require any statement from him. Buddy proceeded to tell his side of the story, and Buddy went to jail. Dude, you were in the clear. They weren't even there, bro, asking about you. Okay? Someone was doing donuts in the parking lot across the street. They just came to ask if anyone saw the license plate. There were some kids with some spray painting the school. They were asking if anyone saw them. All right? And you just proceeded to tell them that you run an underground meth lab. All right? It's like, why, bro? Why are you snitching on yourself? It's like, yeah, it's being a policeman's a hard job. Being a officer of the law, hard job. But you know what's even harder? Having a bunch of kids tied up in your basement. No, am I right? Am I right? Yeah, seriously. Wow, that is just a heavy burden to bear. Kidnapping and going around. I got the white van. Did you see it? I'm sure I get it probably as a cop. You're like, oh, well, the white van trope, but yeah, it's right there. It's parked. You want me to show it to you? Yeah, well, maybe we probably shouldn't go inside. It smells pretty bad in there. I've had to do a couple of, jobs recently, as we should say, in the business. Yeah, a couple of last minute activities. Just getting rid of some clientele. If you know what I mean. So. But yeah, it's, I understand it must be a really difficult job, but, you mind if I reach for that gun? It's like, dude, you were doing anything and everything to get yourself arrested. Why? I mean, if you do some messed up shit like that, yeah, I'd rather you out yourself. But it's like, you didn't have to say anything. People, so I feel like sometimes criminals, like, it depends on what type of criminal they are, but they almost enjoy getting like on the chase or getting caught. It's like, okay, that thrill must be really awesome for an hour and a half, and then you spend the rest of your life in prison. I just like, it's like, gotta love the chase. It's like, why don't you just play Grand Theft Auto or something? Like, you can get chased by police in that video game for the entire time you're there. In real life, it doesn't work out as well because you get chased by the police, and then you're probably either going to get shot and killed by the police, or you get arrested. It's like, you're living your dream for, your 15 minutes of fame or whatever, and then you basically spend the rest of your life rotting in prison. So I know these people probably don't really have a great sense of logical intuition, but you don't have to. I think the chase is overhyped. I really have to be honest. Even just small things. I knew people who were just like, ride their dirt bikes in like people's private property and for the police to come and chase them down, and it's like, really? Is this is what gives you a thrill? This is the high point of your high school experience here, is to run away from the police on a dirt bike. And it's like, then they're gonna catch you. Lots of times they did catch these people. So it's like, I don't really, what's the end goal here? I don't really understand. It's like, whoo, yeah, wow. Jail doors close. It's like, wow, I'm still, how thrilling. It's invigorating, really, isn't it? It's like, now you have to pee in the corner in front of everybody else. That's great. It's like, can we just use the bathroom? It's like, no, you were arrested. Reply from Weedful Things. Did this person already comment? A buddy of mine told me a story about when he was in a shitty garage band as a teenager. Him and his buddies were in the garage playing and drinking some beer. The cops were called on the people in the house for creating a disturbance. I think one of the guy's sisters and her boyfriend. They all walked out to see what was going on, and one of the boys admitted to the cop that he was drinking beer. The cop said he didn't care about that because it's not what he was there for. The kid took that as permission and went into the garage and came out with his beer in his hand, and the cop actually saw him breaking the law and he got arrested. Bro, like, what are you, like, it's like, I didn't know you were chill like that. It's like, I'm not here to arrest you for telling me that you drank some beers. I'm here for domestic disturbance. This is a serious call. It's like, I didn't know you were chill like that. I guess I'm gonna shotgun a beer right in front of you. I guess I'm just gonna chug this beer right in front of you. Yeah, whoa, dude. I didn't understand you were on a vibe like that, dude. Like, I didn't know you were super chill. You were the chillest cop in town. Guess I'm gonna. It's like, no, dude. I'm saying that I didn't care about that before you started, like, just underage drinking right in front of me on the street. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to arrest you for this now. Like, you can't just tell me you were committing a crime. Okay, fine, whatever. Not that big of a deal. And then go and just do it right in front of me. How did you think this was going to end? You're literally 14 years old. Like, this, there's only one way for this to end. I don't care if you tell me that you drank a beer. If you're trying to flex or something. If you got this, yeah, I get it. Wow, you're 14 years old. You drank a beer. That's awesome. But if I actually see you shotgunning a beer in front of me, I'm not just going to be like, wow. Kid's a fucking legend. What did you expect me to do? Like, what? It's like, yeah, let's go. I got a funnel in the back of my car. It's like the police just, brings out a beer funnel. They start just funneling beers, shotgunning beers. Like, when have you ever met like a cop that was chill like that? I don't think, I highly doubt that exists. Next one comes from Ledevin Noob. Old friend from high school, Eddie, was really good at pitching and got a full ride scholarship to. I don't understand. Sometimes people on Reddit, they're like, they put Eddie in quotes, like old friend from high school, Eddie. Couldn't you just say old friend from high school? Why do you have to name him? Like, or like it's, but like you're coming up with like a fake name. Like, can't you just say a friend from high school? Friend from high school. Well, let's call him Eddie. Okay, for your 100-word long story, I feel like this is not a giant, like, this is not a subreddit where people send in giant replies. Like, you're not concealing just to conceal his identity. It's like, I don't really think that that's necessary, really, but okay. Old friend from high school was really good at pitching and got a full ride scholarship to play baseball at a D1 university. A week before we graduated high school, we were playing basketball in gym class. He goes to shoot for a shot, misses, gets angry, punches a wall, and breaks his hand. Long story short, the D1 school took his scholarship away because his hand was fucked and he would have missed summer training. Poor guy was devastated. 10 plus years later, and he still talks about how he could have been a pro. And now he operates a crane in Philly and makes really good money. Well, I mean, it's good that he makes good money, but it's like, yeah, let me just throw away my entire future because I missed a 3. Because I got beat in a 1-on-1. Like, I mean, really, bro? Like, and when the school pulls the offer, like, what are you gonna say at that point? Like, you can't just be like, what? I mean, I broke my pitching hand, and it's never gonna be the same ever again. But I'm like, still like, I'm like a guy you'd love to have on your team. Like, I'm just like, other than when I miss a shot in basketball, or if I like miss a pitch and I start freaking out and just brawling with everybody on the field or the court. Other than that, I'm like a great prospect. I'm a big team guy. I love just being on the team, and I'm one of those, like, just great glue guys. I'm a glue guy. You want me? I'm a glue guy. It's like, someone gets their third strike, misses the ball on the plate. That's 3 outs. Inning changes. He just is like, yeah, let me talk to you for a second. Come here. I know you just struck out on that last one, but just let me just grabs his shoulder and is penetrating his skin with his fingers. He's just, let me just talk to you about that last one. Yeah. You see, but you kind of crossed us that one, didn't you? You kind of just, I think you just, I'm fine. It's fine, Eddie. Calm down. Take a deep breath. What did the therapist say? Take a deep breath. You realize you're costing us the game. He's like, dude, let go. It's an exhibition game. Like, this game doesn't even matter. I'm not even supposed... I'm one of the best players on the team. I'm not even supposed to be playing right now in this game. This is for, like, rookies and for the second stringers to play. Okay, this is not... You have now ruined my college career because of this. Excuse me. Whew. Like, again, what are you doing? Like, if you have potential like that... Yeah, you know what? Let me just throw away my future over something that just doesn't matter. Something that has absolutely zero bearing on my future at all. And I'm just gonna, let's just live on the edge a little bit. Let's just, let's just try to live in that reality of what would it be like. Now let's test the waters a little bit. Let's see where this goes. I feel like we can... this is about perseverance. Sometimes you have to build your own roadblocks, all right? And then you just have to break through them. I'm still going to make pro. It's like, bro, you're 37 and you operate a crane. Like, great for you. You operate the crane. Like, you make good money and whatever, but I don't think I've seen too many guys get drafted at 39. He, keeps declaring for the draft. He's like, it's going to be my year, dude. I feel it, man. My hands never felt better, dude. It's like, I'm feeling great. I really think I can offer something to a team. It's like, bro, you've got a gut on you now, man. Like, your hand, your thumb has never looked the same, dude. It's like, it was screwed up forever that day in high school. Like, your thumb is, permanently dislocated. I don't think I really don't think that you're too high up on the draft or on the draft board for a lot of these baseball teams. I think they're going to pick people who maybe don't punch walls when they're in high school. Next one comes from Fit Yogurt Closet 291. I got a pal who just can't keep a job. He goes to war with people when he feels out of his depth and can't make it past his probation period. Now he's almost screwed his life in a bad way. Been out of work for almost a year and can't find anything because it's a whole history of 6-month stints. Reply from Make Money. I have a relative who's like this. He's always getting himself into non-existent problems. His wife tells him, calm down, you're overreading this, you're overreacting, and he won't listen. He screwed himself out of a lot of opportunities. Boss was going to pay for his house if he stayed at the job, messed it up. Boss was paying half check, half cash, totaling over $10K a month. He also messed that up. He was going to become the head of an entire warehouse, and he also messed that up. He only realizes now as he approaches 70 that he screwed his own life, that someone was there to stop him every time, but he never listened. Bruh. Again, it's like, you know what? I think getting those multiple harassment cases against me and the multiple assault cases and the multiple assault convictions, I think now that I'm on my deathbed, this, I don't know about you guys, but this was worth it. I think I purposely made my life difficult because I was just, it made things more entertaining. Like it brought some of that energy, some of that pizzazz into life, some of that just energetic electricity you just don't find anywhere else, So what? I could never fly out of the country. So what? I was on a no-fly list. No big deal, okay? So what? The bank wouldn't ever give me a credit card, okay? So what? I'm dying with all this debt. My kids are going to have to pay it off. Not that big of a deal. I think in the grand scheme of things, this was the way to go. You know what I just really love? You know what I really love? It hits every time. Harassing others. It is nothing. There's no high like it. It's my coworker, my boss. My boss. Well, the audacity for my boss. To make me a warehouse manager. What do you think I am? What do you think I want? Your handout? I don't need your freaking handout. Okay, I can do this whatever I want. You know what? Come here. I'm gonna punch you in the freaking face. It's like it's literally not a handout. You have everything going against you. All right, this is the farthest thing from a handout. I'm going out of my way and putting myself on the line to make you a manager because I think I see good qualities in you, and I believe in redemption. Right? This is the opposite of a handout. You probably could have been way more successful than just being at this job. All right? And you kind of like this is not a charity here, okay? I believe in you, but I think I'm starting to believe a lot less now that my eye is black and it feels like it's bulging out of its socket. So that's I think we're gonna end this one here. I tried to believe in you. I was like, you know what? I see a potential in this guy. I think I no longer have any faith in my own judgment. I think the judgment calls. You know what? I think I'm going to remove myself from making any future judgment calls. This situation has royally screwed up my sense of self, my sense of self and judgment. Next one comes from Few Lobster 7961. We had an employee at another location sell company merchandise on social media on his own account for 10 times the original price. Company found out and fired the employee. The very next day, the company gave every employee company-wide a decent pay bump. He lost his job and the pay bump, all for less than $100 reselling company merch. Truly one of the dumbest ways I've ever seen someone screw themselves over. Yeah, what, dude? We all have you on Instagram, dude. Like, it's like, what? I couldn't do that. I couldn't I'm just being business savvy. Okay, this is just what I'm being an entrepreneur, okay? I watch all of Andrew Tate's videos, okay, and he's just saying that you gotta be a venture capitalist, so I'm venturing into purchasing all of the company hoodies and reselling them online. I feel like This is just me being. If anything, I should get a promotion, right? For being like a good, like, entrepreneur, for having good business instincts. It's like, we don't even operate in a business. This is a government organization. Like, I don't like. Business savvy, this doesn't matter. Like, we don't care about business savvy. We're like, this is a scientific government organization. Like, I don't understand what you think you're doing. Like, this business savvy, we need you to do research. Okay, you're hired to do research. We're out here we're doing like rock research, geology research. Like, I don't understand where you're thinking that this is some sort of business. Like, we don't make money. We don't even sell anything. Like, the merch is the only thing we sell. We're here to do straight up scientific research. You're compromising everything. You're like, I don't understand why, like, just to make a couple $100, like, nobody's even really cares about the merch. No one who wants government geology scientific research merch. All right, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get rich off this. The way that they drew the rocks on this hoodie, shit's fire, man. Shit's gonna go crazy. Shit's gonna pop off on my Depop. Shit's gonna go crazy on Poshmark. All right? You don't even know, man. I'm gonna be loaded because of this. Just free money, man. Free money. It's like, dude, no one even bought the hoodies, bro. We saw it on Instagram. You got fired before you could even sell any of the hoodies, and they made you give them all back. So you really, great job on that one, bro. Like, all right, we're gonna end the show there for today. Thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Now, remember, please leave us a rating and also leave us a review on whatever podcasting platform you happen to be listening to this show on. Remember, you can reply to this week's episode by going to Spotify and clicking the description of the episode, and there you should see a comment, and you can respond to this week's question. I will read that response out loud on the next week's following episode. Please check out my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channel at Reddit Asks Us Podcast. I post new short-form content every single day. And please also check out our subreddit. Please go to the subreddit r/Reddit Asks Us, where we can talk about all things podcast related. Thank you all so much for tuning into another episode. I love each and every single one of you. I will see y'all next week. Peace out. Love you. Goodbye.